right, it's 12:02 on the day after the Edmonton Oilers are eliminated from the NHL playoffs. It is the Boston Pizza Oil Stream. We are live at Terwilliger Rec Center, Booster Juice Terwilliger Rec Center. And what is this? Reid Wilkins with a little booster juice.
Just fueling up.
Not a little one either. What is that? The Hurricane? What do you get? Strawberry Hurricane?
Strawberry Sunshine.
Strawberry Sunshine.
Strawberry Sunshine, because I'm a ray of Strawberry Sunshine, baby.
That's what the city needs today. Ray of Strawberry Sunshine. I was just about to put out a tweet here. The Boston Pizza Oil Stream is live. Is it Reid Wilkins and I? Or is it me and Reid Wilkins? Or is it Reid Wilkins
Reid
and me?
Wilkins and I.
That's what I thought.
Terwilliger Rec Center. If you were going to say somebody is coming on the show with Reid Wilkins, then you would say
Reid Wilkins and me.
Because
they're joining me.
Because if you left your name, or if you left my name out, you'd say they're coming on with me.
I just sort of learned that a little while ago.
Yeah,
you use it as if you're just talking about yourself.
Yeah, and then you see if it works with you. I'm kind of I like grammar though.
That's why I asked you. Yeah, I thought you'd definitely knock it out of the park there.
Find it annoying, but I like speaking good.
All right, 780-218-9999. Tommy Gazzola is on the ice. So Reid has decided to slide in here. You guys will be here today from 3 until 6 as well. I think Maddie and Dave from Hockey House of Homeless are working on a few guys for your show this afternoon, so it should be good. And, hey, it's been a heck of a day so far. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Rip City Step says, Dusty, when do we – excuse me. Dusty, when do we start talking about the Oilers signing Patrick Laine? Because I'm starting now.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Reid, look, you, still pretty fresh on all of this. And there's I thought you did a good job last night. Tommy and Belzy were pretty fired up, and you slid in. And I thought you had a very level-headed take on both sides of things. You had some time to sleep on it. Like, has anything changed since you woke up and listened to some shows today, or kind of locked in on what you saw last night with this team?
Well, I've never been a fire this person type of guy.
Okay. Like immediately after things, or ever?
Really, ever.
Really? Okay.
Even when even before I was in broadcasting, and then as a broadcaster and a talk show host, like, if you're going to say it, you kind of can't go back.
You're locked in.
Like if Sid Smith, you say you hate the coach and you want him fired, and then they win 7 in a row.
That's your vibe now.
That's it. You have to stick with it. You still have to say, I think he's a terrible coach, and you want him fired. Yeah. You have to say he has nothing to do with winning. So I've never been too much down that. I try to look at the positives and negatives of everybody. But, like, how do you bring everybody in the off-ice leadership positions back? And I quite frankly, I want to say I'm not calling for anybody's dismissal, but how do you look at Bowman and think he's made any shrewd moves? I can't. I mean, the more I've kind of slept on it since last night. Now I know, and I know everybody's going to say, no, Reid, it's this guy, it's Knobloch, it's this guy, it's this player. All fair. We can talk about all that. But if you asked me one person who you could realistically change, hopefully to get someone better or shrewder, perhaps. It would be the general manager. And I think, I think Bowman took a couple risks. I mean, look, we can go through every move.
I got him right here. I got the top 5 and worst.
Like the Mangiapane thing, some of that's just on Mangiapane. Like there were a couple of scouts coming through the rink, up the games. You talk to people, you hear chatter, and the word on Mangiapane was like, okay, it looks like a bad signing. He's never played worse. I mean, I don't think
so. He played his worst.
I don't think Bowman could have necessarily predicted that.
Yeah.
But like now that Wallman long-term deal doesn't look that great. Clearly, the Frederick long-term deal doesn't look that great. And
the Jari trade,
though. Hey man, like I push back with that one on our listeners sometimes, because a lot of people just said, just get rid of Stu. I don't care who you get.
Whoever you get.
And I always said, fair enough, but you'll get another iffy goaltender. Yeah. So I warned you.
Even then, it was like, at best, it's a lateral move.
Yes.
At worst, well, actually, I'll say, I was saying at worst, it's probably a lateral move. I'm not sure. I think worst was probably a little bit worse in that situation. Yeah, like, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm sitting here trying to think, okay, what do they do to – well, let's start with this part of the conversation first. So your management, or your Jeff Jackson and Daryl Cates, or whoever, you're looking at this and you're going, okay, why did we not get it done this year? And I thought all you guys made great points last night, and I think everybody was partially right. Belzy didn't like the way that they played as far as the playoff hockey goes.
Yeah.
And I thought they were stuck in regular season mode, so I agree with him. Tommy said, the roster just wasn't good enough this year, and I don't know how you can argue that. And also, injuries played a factor. So if you're management, you're going to look at this and go, okay, so, how much of it is this? How much of it? And let's do that. Can you weigh up, like, if you had to tier injuries, not a good team, not playoff intensity as the reasons why they lost. I mean, penalty kill is probably number one. If the penalty kill was just okay, they might have won. But how do you, is it 33, 33, 33? Or no? Well, how would you rank that?
No, just the roster wasn't good enough.
Okay.
And that was
that would fall on the general manager then.
I mean, yeah. So, you never know how it's going to play out. The one thing I was talking about last summer, and I'm not doing this to, like, pump my own tires. I just have to talk about it in the context of how I saw it. And I don't know if this was entirely correct, but I think there's something to it. Like, I added up all the goals for and how many left. And I was like, okay, who makes that up?
Yeah.
Most of it was Connor made it up because he went from 20 whatever to.
Yeah, like some of those guys were going to make it up. Yeah, and so you hope Frederick would score so many.
Right. Now, Pud Colson, to be fair, did better. Savoy had a good burst
that was
for a regular season total. But I also think that, and this has kind of bugged me about this team off and on for a while now, even going back somewhat to some of the McClellan days, I guess, since they've become a better franchise. Like, who do they have? A bunch of savvy, intelligent, hate to lose, skate through a wall hockey players. Like, I know they're all in the NHL and they're all alpha males, but then even when you get to the NHL, that still separates. Okay, I'm going to use a local guy as an example.
Okay.
Jordan Martinook.
Oh, yeah.
If you watch him play, there's probably relatives or friends listening, so this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment.
Patty from this event, super tight.
Like, he's not really a skilled hockey player. Like, clearly he's in the NHL.
Yeah.
But why does he keep playing? Why does he keep playing specifically on the Carolina Hurricanes? Because he's just a menace. This is why I used to call the Vegas Golden Knights the miserable bastards.
Yeah.
And maybe they're getting some of that back because they've done a good job against a pretty quick Utah team. Like, with that Vegas team that won the Stanley Cup, I mean, they were just like, I will slash my grandma in the ankle to win the Stanley Cup.
Whatever it takes.
How many Oilers players can you say that about over the years? I think some of the leaders for sure, and maybe they had some of those guys who've moved on to other teams, but this is what I wonder sometimes about this franchise. Like, do they really sit down and interview somebody? Like, do they sit down, or do they just look on Hockey DB at the stats and the plus minus and a couple advanced stats and say, oh, well, you scored 17 before, so you should be able to score 17 again.
Yeah.
Now the Oilers, they did improve. Don't be fair. I do think there was a time when Kane was peaking and they had Perry and Fogle wasn't like mean, but he could play heavy, where they could bully teams a little bit, right? But how often, like, when have the Oilers in the McDavid era had a fourth line like these guys, these punks on Anaheim,
VL,
who probably are going to get schooled in the next round, but even last year in the Cup final, like, that Gadjevich and Greer line shouldn't have an effect on games.
No, but they did.
But they did.
Yeah. And Martinook, I think the Martinook stuff, like, rubs off on other guys who aren't naturally like that either.
Right.
Like, that's what'll happen. You get one or two of those guys, and I think it probably starts to get contagious throughout the group.
And that's how I think Perry helped.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I'm not saying they should have resigned Perry because of his age and what he wanted and all that stuff. But I think you can find
who's the biggest you talk about what you call Vegas, the miserable
bastards.
Miserable bastards.
I don't know if they're quite that miserable.
Yeah,
anymore,
but since we had him on the show this morning, Zach Cassian. Since Cassian, how many guys have you had that were of that ilk?
Yeah, Frederick was
like,
supposed to be like that.
Yeah, but Frederick's
maybe like I see somebody in the chat. Maybe Doc could be. Maybe. You kind of need a couple, or maybe two forwards and one D.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Anaheim did this to the Oilers without their big miserable slab of beef on the back end. mixing it up.
Well, it would have been nice if he
You know?
if he was back there falling and allowing them to win
Well, but
hockey
if he were,
games.
yeah, if he were healthy, I mean, he fell because he was hurt or whatever was wrong with him. So I still wonder about that. Like, it's as much as we talk about coaching hockey players, they're human beings. How badly does the human being want to succeed at his task?
Yeah.
And I know sports and real life aren't directly related, because like you and I can say, oh, well, we work hard, but there's no one like doing this to us while we're trying to do our jobs. I could body check.
Hey, if you want to,
I could just keep cross checking you the entire show.
On, man.
That's not a penalty in the NHL.
Eventually, I'm a pretty chill dude, but when my switch goes, I have to be held back.
Yeah,
so.
But this is kind of what I'm saying. And I'm not saying this is only why the Oilers lost to Anaheim. I'm just sort of like big picture here. Like who. I think that's one of the reasons Ryan McLeod was traded. Like, he had some skill, but did you ever associate Ryan McLeod with, oh my God, like it just kills him to lose? Like, look at what, he'll do anything. He'll figure it out. No, he kind of skated. He skated fast. Sometimes he got to the net. Sometimes he didn't. Sometimes he scored. Sometimes he didn't. So I think that's part of the reason he was traded, because I think they thought Savoy had a higher end and was maybe more competitive. We'll see. I mean, again, he had some good bursts this season. So
would Podkolzin be the closest thing they have to that? Do you think he?
Well, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
I'm just trying to think of like who's the one
tough,
guy right now,
and he'll
go
and he'll play on any line.
Yeah.
Like I asked Knobloch about that the other night.
Yeah.
That he'll mix it up. He's competitive. He understands that he has a role to play regardless of what line he's on.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 over. Okay, so I mean, you do bring up, and we laid it out earlier, the pros and cons of what Bowman has done. So he hasn't even been here 2 years.
Right.
Would you be? Well, I mean, Daryl Cates and the Oilers do operate in some fascinating ways sometimes.
Yes.
Do you think there's any way they blow Bowman out?
Yes.
You do, hey?
Well, I would I would hope they think about it.
You would hope it's looked at closely, yeah.
And I mean, I know. I mean, I know it's nice to have continuity and all that kind of stuff, but look at some of these. Okay, again, not a direct comparison, but look at like teams like the Flyers and the Rangers. Like, they change all the time.
They do change
because now they have the risk of they can't be irrelevant in their markets.
Yeah,
they can't miss the playoffs for 10 years and still have people going to the games.
That's a good point. There are a bunch of other things in those markets that they got to compete.
So they got to be like, okay, we're doing this. I mean, the Rangers last year, didn't they trade half their team over the course of the season? I thought they'd be good this year, especially.
I thought they'd be much better than they were.
They were terrible. Yeah. So I hope that it's certainly considered. I mean, I don't know how Daryl Cates thinks. I can't imagine what it's like to be him. I mean, I've only talked to him in person once, and that was about a 90-second interview where he didn't say much. So it's like I'm not going to pretend like, oh, I know that he'll do this. But okay, I don't. So I got to think how I'm going to put this, because I know, like, we always hear from fans, well, there's a window. Well, there's a window with McDavid. Quite frankly, if you're a well-run hockey team, you should always have a window. Mm-hmm. Or if you go away, it shouldn't be for more than a year or two. And I'm going to say something here, and I'll probably repeat this on my show this afternoon. Every single Stanley Cup champion in history, going back to the Montreal AAA
and the Wanderers,
have won the Stanley Cup without Connor McDavid. It's possible to win the Stanley Cup without Connor McDavid. Now, yes, when you have him, it's nice to have a superstar of that caliber. And, this could be his final year coming up with the Oilers. I mean, depending on how the season goes and conversations that they might have next summer. So, I hopefully Kate says, like, okay, like, this GM didn't upgrade the team. Even if this was supposed to be a step-back team, the way they played most of the season in the playoffs, I don't feel they're poised for a massive step forward.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Like, during the season, even before the season, I said I would expect, with the cap situation they have, and now McDavid's going to save this money moving forward, that this year would be a step back, and then they'd just be locked in for the next 2 years. And the step back part has happened, but I am worried about the push back,
yes,
to where they were the last couple of years. So part of me thinks they're just going to like fire Mark Stewart. and get a veteran assistant coach and then try to bring everybody else back in the organization. Which I think is it's a danger. Like you're playing a dangerous game. If, like you just said it, if Huss brought it up on Lock Shop, if next season ends like this season, what is the Connor McDavid conversation next year?
Right.
Like if they go out in the first round next year, we're going to have 2 months of talking about, does Connor McDavid even want to be here for the final year of his contract? They should have to trade him to keep the franchise viable moving forward. So it's a very critical time to allow a guy that has had double the misses than he has hits so far as general manager.
Yeah.
And that's a scary element of it. No doubt about it. 780-218-9999. Rusty Shackelford says, many have forgotten how big of an impact Coffey will make in the direction of the team, not just Cates. Him being behind the bench this year was a huge red flag.
Well, what did I call that when it happened? It felt like a decade of darkness move.
Yeah,
and I don't think he had any impact on what happened on the ice.
Well, they also didn't defend in the playoffs.
And this is another this. And I'll you know how sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, guys, I really feel this way. And sometimes I say something and I'm like, I actually want the listeners to help me out because it's an unformed thought.
You're trying to finish it,
and I don't know where it's going to go. So maybe somebody can help me clarify it. Why did Murphy and Dickinson ultimately not improve the penalty kill? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that. Like maybe I shouldn't even. Maybe it's not even a good question.
I mean, I would say, what was I think it was on your show. Post-trade deadline, did they not have a top 10 penalty kill?
Yes.
I mean, they went to absolute you-know-what in the playoffs.
It was 10th in the NHL after the trade deadline. And then, Sunil Agnihotri from superfan.ca.
Yes,
he actually writes really – I like his stuff.
All right.
And he said they actually were still giving up a lot of good chances and a lot of shots.
So the teams weren't burying?
There were some misses.
Okay, so there wasn't, like, analytically, there wasn't a ton of a difference. Well, and then we saw what happened in the playoffs. So, yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see what they do with their $16.5 million. Like, we're going to have a couple of months to break that down for sure. So, but, like, I was just, where is it here? So McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, Hyman, Savoy, Szymanski, Frederick, Podkolzin, Matthias Janmark. He's under contract next year. We'll see what happens there. We know Knobloch. What about, what about Knobloch? What do you think with Knobloch? What do you think they do with him?
I think he'll be back. I think he's a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach. I think he's a good coach. Quite frankly, I'm not sure how many great coaches there are in the NHL. Quenneville's probably
80% of them get fired every 2.5 years. So I'd say probably not.
Right. Do you have the right guy at the right time who can get a burst? Like, I actually think DeBoer is a great coach, but he never lasts more than 3 years anybody. And he kind of knows it's going to be that way. I'm surprised he signed for that long.
That's his thing.
He's like, no. 3 years good. They'll all hate me.
2 years and an option for me. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Like I've said a million times, I think Knobloch focuses on the confidence of his players. I think he wants them to feel free. I think he wants them to go out there and make plays and play to their strengths. I still question some of his tactical adjustments because I feel like for this whole series, he just said, no, guys, like, we know this can work. We know this can work.
Let them adjust to us.
But instead, Anaheim was just like, oh, great. We'll just pressure their D and they'll throw a long pass that we'll intercept or knock down or throw them out of rhythm, and we'll come back the other way.
We've seen him coach variations of this Oilers team to be very good defensive teams, right? They've had stretches where you're like, oh, this team actually does know how to defend, and you'll hear some of their guys go, oh, we know how to defend, but I mean, it just didn't look like it this year. They did not defend. I don't want to give free passes to goalies and such, but they did not defend very well all year, and I don't know if that's a thing that you hang on coaching, or if the coach is putting them in the spots where they should be, and it's just execution for some of these guys. Like,
yeah,
I'd like to figure out that whole, chicken and egg.
Well, I know, and that's
thing.
the frustrating thing. I mean, again, like, Connor McDavid is not a great defensive player. Like, he skates circles in the defensive zone and tries to steal the puck. When it works, it looks brilliant, right? but how often does he stop and engage a guy?
Yeah.
Leon's a little better than that, though. I mean, he talked about the Selke at the start of the year and wouldn't have even been within a million miles of that conversation. So, and then how much do coaches think with the star players now? Well, I just got to leave them alone. I just got to let them do their thing because I can't have them sulking or mad at me. So I kind of got to live with their bad habits and hope they're good habits.
I don't
know. Do coaches kind of do that now? I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Let's get through a couple of your text messages. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. KR says they cannot allow Bowman to use whatever cap space is left. He's Chia 2.0. Okay, so that's what I was looking at. They've got 10 forwards, Ducks and RFA. So they got 10 forwards already under contract.
Okay.
And they've got 5 defensemen under contract, plus Stastny's an RFA. And then they've got Jari under contract and Ingram's a UFA. According to Puckpedia today, they've got $16.5 million in cap space. And I've had people text in and be like, oh, Dusty, I'd bring back Dickinson and Kapanen. Okay, but if you do, then you're bringing back the same group, right? That's 12 forwards. You're bringing back 12 forwards from a team that just went out in the first round. If you want to bring back Connor Murphy, and I got time for Connor Murphy, but if you bring back Connor Murphy, you have the same 6 defensemen that you had. Like,
I know.
And if you want to sign it, like a lot of people want to sign these, but you're going to bring back the same team. So, and I guess you could keep some of those guys and try to move other pieces, but the other pieces you want to move are damn near impossible to move. So, do you think they don't go with Dickinson and they don't go Murphy and they don't go Kapanen and they try to bring in, and I didn't even mention Rosovic, but I don't think he'll be back.
Rosovic,
yeah, I don't think he'll be back. It was Gazdic said today he's kind of a tweener, right? Like he's not the role. There's no role here that he can play that the team needs. So I think he would probably be gone. But like if we're talking about bringing back Murphy, Dickinson, and Kapanen, then you're just running it back again.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess if you think health was a major issue, then maybe you do run it back again, but I just don't think the organization is going to do that. I don't think they can sell that to a lot of people when you go out in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, Dickinson's intriguing.
There's no way they could sign Rosovic instead of Dickinson. Like that'd be just, I mean, it would just be stupid. That would be really dumb.
And I guess it depends how much money he wants. Like
would you give him $3 million, 3 years?
No,
me neither. I saw that number pop up in the text line today, and
I like again. He was probably their second best forward after Podkolzin, oddly enough.
But like for 9 days, nothing.
No,
I don't want to take anything away from it, but Podkolzin was pretty damn good all year.
Yeah,
Kapanen produced when he was with Leon.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would be able to.
And Murphy. That. Yeah, I don't know. Like. Murphy did his job, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how many PK goals he was on for against. He actually scored a couple.
We will
of goals.
over the next couple of months because actually Connor Murphy was the highest scoring Connor goals wise in the series for Edmonton, which is insane.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, this one comes in from Amos Moses, and if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, this is really weird for us because since we launched DST, all the springs have just been Stanley Cup runs. But I did say this morning on our show that we were born in this. You covered the team through the whole decade. Like, we know how to talk about the off season coming up for a couple of months.
Yeah, so. This is the first time without May hockey since. I guess that series against the Jets probably was in May, even though it was the first round. It's the first time they're out in the first round since 2021, 2022 West Final, 2023 second round.
And then
24 and 25 Stanley Cup final.
Amos Moses says Connor and Leon have to overcome and attempt to balance out management's hit and misses. And there have been more misses that they have to overcome than the others' competitors' management are making. Connor's treading water because of the management group. Since Jeff Jackson stepped in, it has been a downward spiral. I'm not a woe is me Debbie Downer fan. I'm just getting too obvious to ignore. It's just getting too obvious to ignore, unfortunately. If anyone can overcome it, it's McDavid, though. This offseason, no Hail Mary, bringing in bounce-back project players who are on the outs with their current teams, dig the FN, and do this right. And the take right off the top, Connor trying to overcome an attempt to balance out management's hit and misses. That's what it was to keep his salary at 12.5 mil. Like that's exactly what that was, right?
Yeah.
So I can see why that would be a take of a bunch of people as well. Sailor says, did you notice how Nurse didn't talk after the game? The conversation always been, how do the others trade Nurse? Maybe he wants out now. It's easy to move someone if they want to leave. I'm just spitballing. But could you blame Darnell if he asked to be moved?
Okay, so he wasn't requested after the game.
It was Ekholm that was requested?
I'm in the group chat, even though I wasn't there, and the reporters who were there requested McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm, and Nugent Hopkins. So it's not like Darnell wouldn't have been. Now,
I'm curious.
Maybe it says something that.
Well, yeah, you are down at the rink a lot.
After all the home games.
Yeah, like why wouldn't they have requested Nurse?
I think there's a sense that Nurse doesn't say a lot.
Okay, so they just wanted a better
and Ekholm's a better quote, better. I
would have liked
a little more analytical about it.
Situation. Yeah. I think that would have been interesting. Anyway, Sailor says, do you think there's any chance
that's an interesting one? I mean, could that of all the guys with no moves, and again, I have no inside, but just reading the vibe and what he's been through, and he's got to hear 9.25. Well, he probably can't even go out in public.
He's got a really nice house he can stay in.
Yeah, true. But could that be a guy who says, "Okay, you know what? It's time. It's time to go play somewhere else." Now, could the Oilers trade the entire salary?
They have to eat it.
I don't know. He'd probably have to eat some of it.
They probably have to eat it down to the number where they could have actually swallowed it.
like 6.5,
6.5, 7 or something like that. You're like, damn, that's what he actually should be. So then some other team will get him at maybe his actual value in that situation. All right, 7.
Nurse got pushed down by Ekholm. That's what's happened over the last 3 years. The year they acquired Ekholm, Nurse and Ceci was the number one pairing. That's how we'd list it out. That's how you'd get the lineup sheet for games. Ceci. And then shortly after it was Ekholm.
Who was with Bush then before they got Ekholm? Who were they playing? Do you remember? Who were they playing with Bush before they got Ekholm? Who was it?
Kulak?
It would have been. It probably was Kulak. Yeah, that would make sense.
Because he was there already.
That would make sense. He was already there. He was there. Yeah. Yeah, it must have been Kulak. Troll says, not necessarily with the 12 forwards. You could sign Kapanen and Dickinson plus some other guys in the offseason and make the bottom guys battle it out in training camp. Here's another text from Chris at Wolf Creek. Says, you see any world where they can move Nurse? I would think you have to pay a premium to do so. All right. Andrew, the accountant, says, also, do we need to have a discussion about Nuge? I love the guy, but I did not notice him once in 6 games, honestly. I mean, I do think, for the production level of what Nugent Hopkins gives you right now, he's actually a decent bang for your buck. Right. He's a pretty – I mean, he's not the most important or second – or I guess he's probably the 4th most important guy on the power play.
Right.
5th. But he also doesn't make a ton of money.
Yeah, true, relatively speaking.
So that's not ideal.
But he didn't have a great series either.
No, he didn't. No, I mean, not a lot of those guys.
How often does he do something where you're like, oh my God, look at Nuge go, right?
Ryan from Sask, Reid is asking, would an experienced veteran assistant that has been a head coach somewhere else in the league be a good fit with Knobloch?
Yes.
So that would be like a Stewart out and that guy in? Or do you just add him to the bench? Right? They got Coffey.
McFarland out.
Yeah. Would you?
But I mean, is Bruce Cassidy coming here to be an assistant?
No, Bruce Cassidy's not coming here to be an assistant.
Who's out there?
If Bruce Cassidy was willing to come here, would you make the switch?
I might consider that, yeah. But then what if he can't get them to play better defense?
You know what? I say you say screw it to the defense, and you just put Bruce Boudreau on the bench with Knobloch and just win games 7-4. just run and gun the hell out of it all season long. Martin is asking, is that nothing but Popeye's chicken grease in Reid's Booster Juice cup? No, but you do like Popeyes.
I do. This is an actual Booster Juice. That's, oh my God. I'm going to be sleeping for weeks.
This text is in no handle, but thank you very much for the text. Make sure you stick around for the next couple of months because we've got lots to discuss. How ironic. Oilers eliminated 40 years to the day of Steve Smith's own goal on Grant Fuhr. That one was that one was heartbreaking. Yesterday's elimination was not totally unexpected, but if you truly look at this year's team, I was by the bench to stop the 3 stars. Steve Smith totally obliterated his Sherwood stick. I left it. What would that be worth to a Flames fan now? He had the obliterated Steve Smith
Who
stick.
is that?
I don't know. This guy texted in. He says he was down stopping the 3 stars to make sure they stayed to get honored at that game.
Oh, wow.
And Steve Smith obliterated his stick. This guy had it at the time. How much would that be? Can you imagine being a Flames fan and somebody comes over and you're taking him for a tour of your house and you go, "What's that?" That's Steve Smith's stick from the own goal. I mean, that'd be a hell of a
that'd be amazing.
Hell of a piece. Hell of a piece.
Having said that, I don't know if there are any comparisons to how the Oilers lost last night and lost. Well, I guess they lost as a favorite, though they were probably more favored and needed. Like I love Jack, and I'm not backstabbing him because I would say this to his face if we got into a debate. Jack called it a major upset, I think, during the third period last night. That was not a major upset. I think it was a mild upset. Just because of this, I guess the Oilers were only a point ahead, but because of the experience level.
Yeah.
No, I also think.
And they were behind the Ducks for 90% of the season.
Yeah, true.
No,
and Anaheim didn't finish the season well. I mean, 2-6-2 or whatever. So, yeah, it was. I guess it would be an upset. But as I said last night, when you look back on the series now, after the first period of Game 1, Anaheim controlled the series. The Oilers won 2 games because of 2 bursts. You know?
Yeah, 10-minute burst in Game 5.
And the third period in Game 1.
Yeah.
And I guess the first period in Game 1 helped them get the lead to begin with.
Haji says, "Hey, Reid, how do you think a first-round exit will affect McDavid's legacy?" I know it's just a joke. We don't have to get into it.
That's funny.
Guys, with the cap making as big of jump as it is this offseason, I think we're going to be surprised at how little the extra cap space is going to go. Every team in the NHL is going to have extra money to spend on limited free agents. The salaries will be on the rise too. Haji says trading Nuge would also be like the day that they traded Ryan Smith. JJ says Bowman has had some hits with some of the smaller / depth type moves he made, but when he spent and added money, he lost those bets almost every time, which is why those ones hurt more.
Yes.
Right? You can't lose the ones that are going to cost you both flexibility and, well, I guess cap flexibility and not impact your roster, right? Like those are the ones.
Like Max Jones was good.
Yeah, like the little stuff
did
works.
His job.
I also say if on some of the other little stuff, if it doesn't work, nobody remembers it.
Mm.
Right? You don't care. I mean, in Edmonton, I guess is different because we still talk
Frederick
about
had
Josh
a 1-year
Brown.
deal.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Maybe you're like, he should have done better, but it's like, okay, he's gone, but now he's 7 more years.
All right, Mike in San Francisco texts in and says, "Hey, love the show. The Oilers need a better goaltender to have playoff success. That's the missing piece." What would you think of a Ingram Jari duo next year?
Who else can they get?
Well, that's the thing. Like, well,
I mean, what are you going to do with Jari? What he's untradeable.
Put him on Artemis 3 to the moon,
I guess. I think they might have something in Ingram where they could at least have decent goaltending
with Ingram and Jari.
I like that is such an interesting comment. And you know what, Dustin? I've been watching hockey my whole life. So have you. Most of our audience has. And if they're new fans, they're learning about it. I still struggle to explain goaltending.
It's tough to explain.
Jake Ottinger is out in the first round. I know they lost to Minnesota.
Maybe Dallas will
Connor Hellebuck has never played a game. They were in the West Final once.
They got to the West Final once.
You know, and then it's yes, you need good goaltending. I wonder if now that it's becoming a more offensive style of league, you just need a goaltender that doesn't lose the game for you. You know, like the games.
Well, can Ingram be that guy then?
I thought he could going into the postseason. I still think he had a decent series. I wish the Oilers could have tested Dostal more. but it's yeah, I would agree that the Oilers need better goaltending. Maybe Ingram can be a decent goalie, or at least an average goaltender with the stats if he plays for the whole year. But so who? I mean, who might win the Stanley? I mean, Vasilevsky might be out tonight.
Well,
Vasilevsky has
he
muffed
let
a couple
in,
shots in this. Like, it's crazy.
He's being outplayed by a rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just reality. That's
no, I know. No, Bobrovsky's won the last 2 cups. He's a top tier goalie.
Yeah, he's a
Kemper
stud.
is not a top tier goalie.
No.
Aiden Hill is not a top tier goalie, but he played like it for 2.5 rounds. Right?
Like you're right.
It's I wish I could explain the position or could predict who was going to do what.
You can win Stanley Cups without the elite guy, though, right?
You can. Now, but then the counter argument to that is like, well, Patrick Roy won 4 and was the Conn Smythe winner 3 times. Like
25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love Patrick Roy. He's one of my all-time favorites, but those guys don't really exist much anymore.
Right.
It's how it is. Bobrovsky's an excellent goaltender. He was also behind an awesome
how many playoff
team.
games has Shesterkin played? Has he even played 20? Oh, yeah, I guess he would have that one year, I think. Yeah,
but it's not like,
when Colorado, who was the Rangers goalie when?
Was it still Lundqvist?
Because in 2022, when the Oilers lost to the Avalanche, weren't the Rangers?
Well, that would have been Shesterkin
on the other side of the draw in the East Final.
That would have been here. I'll tell you right now.
So he would have played a bunch of games that year.
Shesterkin.
Oh yeah,
he played 20 and then he played 16 2 years ago.
He's been there longer.
So he's played like 40 playoff games.
Okay, so anyway, but like
hasn't won anything, but like so.
I mean, it's easy to say now. Well, the Oilers couldn't have won the Stanley Cup with Connor Ingram. The Oilers couldn't have won the Stanley Cup this year with prime Dominic Hasek.
I think they would have beat the Ducks.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean Hasek was a freak. Okay, but let me ask you this then. So we're sitting here trying to figure, okay, what happens? What's the deal? How do you change things significantly? And one of your good friends, I think Stoff, has hinted at it about trading for a younger goaltender, like a guy who's maybe ready to break in. So then everybody always goes, oh, Sebastian Cossa and some of these other younger guys.
Right. What about Jesper Wallstedt?
Jesper Wallstedt. Could have had him, like I said, the day that Pat I still can't. I don't know if I get into it today. I remember sitting there tweeting that draft. I'm like, I can't believe Wallstedt's fell to the Oilers. Then they trade the pick, and then the team that moves up takes him. It was all, and they take Borgo. Just anyway.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, and at the time, the only thing they had in the pipeline was mid-round pick and Skinner. Anyway, can you justify to Connor McDavid that, hey, we're going to make a significant trade this year for a guy who's just breaking into the league, but we think he can be the man?
Well, it's hard to take a chance on a young goaltender. So yeah, that'd be tough.
Like at this time,
for sure.
Right? Like,
do you know who Bob's talking about specifically?
No, I don't. I mean, I
don't know.
Oh, I mean, he played here. The Oilers have acquired guys for no more reason than that in the past.
Royal Kings, yeah.
So, and he was good at the time, and he was a highly touted prospect, and as goalie, he's kind of taken a little while coming along. I don't know. I wonder if that's.
And then they bury Jarry in the minors.
Well, you can. I had some people last night telling me buy out Jarry, and I said, look, if you're buying out Jarry, Stan Bowman should be fired immediately. You just can't do that. They're still paying $2.8 to Campbell.
I know.
Like Campbell and Jarry are on the books for $8 million next year, which is,
and neither one probably will be the start.
Partially hilarious.
Obviously won't be.
So you actually save more money on Jarry if you bury him as opposed to buy him out anyway. So they're not going to do that. But it would be a pretty ballsy move to not sign Ingram, keep Jarry, hope you can salvage him, and go trade for a young guy that you can mix in.
What if you could get Ingram for 3 times 3?
I would do that.
I would do that.
I would do that. I would, if I was Ingram's advisor, I'd say, don't sign for less than Tristan Jarry.
Well, good point.
That's a tough spot to be. Listen, Like you sit down with Connor Ingram and you go, hey, you're our guy. We're going to give you $3 million. The guy who's not our guy gets 5.5.
Yeah.
Please sign here. Like, that's just.
No, I know.
Which is the scary part is what are they going to give Ingram 5.5 as well? Then you got 2 goalies at $11 million.
Yeah,
that's all your McDavid savings gone.
Yeah, and there'd still be a little bit of a question mark with Ingram, perhaps. Though I liked a lot of the things I saw from Ingram. I mean, those 2 goals last night, really weird deflections, especially the one off Paling. You know, like you
the 2. I thought they were unlucky in the first. I didn't hate their first period. Second period was not good though.
Yeah, but even
I'm not gonna say it was a great.
Don't give up a goal 3 minutes after being like. And again, why is that going pinching?
I don't know what he was thinking.
Like they got impatient. They got impatient, and they didn't do that most of the time when they were better in the playoffs.
I think you say that in the postgame last night. Yeah, I heard that on the postgame last night, and it was like, you're right. Why?
It's 1-0.
Why are you?
When they were a better team, and they were down 1-0, it was like, no, like play the same way. Don't give up another one. We'll get the next 1 or 2.
All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you're enjoying this conversation, the good news for you is that it continues for another 5 hours and 15 minutes as EST Afternoons with Hernan. And Hernan, what's your deal with Gager? Is Gager going to be with you for part of the show? Or
I don't even know.
I think he plays at like 1 and then he'll be back, I guess. So I don't think his team will miss him. They're a pretty good team. They're pretty stacked. And then the Reid Wilkins show. What do you got? We still got some time here, but what do you guys got coming up to?
Well, we're here, so we'll probably get a next player.
I think you're going to try to get Ryan Jones on or something. Or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll talk. I mean,
get a few guys.
It's always interesting with Milne, right? Because he's the last of us to get on.
Yeah.
And say his thoughts. Like I'm lucky I get to go on after all the games.
Yeah.
And then
so he's the last voice on the game. Yeah.
And he always has an interesting perspective as well. Like. And like this is, but Jay likes the guys who are, what does he call them? The motor guys who got motors, guys who are like dogs
energy
on a
guys,
bone.
motor guys. Yeah.
Like, do the Oilers have enough of those? They certainly didn't look like they did in this series, and it looked like every guy on Anaheim was playing like that. I'm really curious how Anaheim does in the next round, because objectively, I'm still not sure how good they are. You know what I mean? Like they won a round.
I know.
Big deal.
I think what's going to happen with Anaheim is that they're going to get overwhelmed early because whoever comes out of the other series has been playing a higher level of playoff hockey so far.
Yes. Because and I'll talk more about this more on my show because I've seen some of the reaction from national media people and guys who cover teams in other market about this series and about the Oilers and Ducks. I have a lot of respect for the Ducks and for Quenneville. Lacombe's a revelation. Leo Carlson's really good. I'm not quite ready to anoint them as the next powerhouse in the Western Conference.
Who would you say is?
Well, I don't know. Wild, maybe?
Oh, yeah, that could be a good answer.
I mean, the Wild might win the Cup this year. I think
the Wild still have a couple of those ridiculous contracts on their books. Are those like coming off here soon? Let's see.
Like who did they have?
Well, remember they had those bios.
Suter and
Parise.
Parise, right?
Like those have to be.
Isn't that another guy the Oilers could have drafted back in the day?
Parise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who did they take instead of him?
Well, that was. So I think
that Robbie Shrimp.
Might have. I think I was still in Lloyd when that happened. That was a long.
That was a long time ago. They've got Suter and Parise on the books, but it's just 2.7. But no, it's like 1.6 between them still now. So that's not that's all kind of been cleared. But yeah, Minnesota's not a bad answer. We'll see what they do with Hughes, I guess. But yeah, anyway, 780-218-9999. Andrew, the accountant, says, guys, out of the goalie UFAs this offseason, Ingram has the second highest save percent. It's not a
Who's number
it's not
one?
A strong class. Who would be number one? Talbot? What did Talbot have this year? I think Talbot's a UFA every year. Right?
And Bobrovsky's a UFA, right?
Yeah, but he didn't have a good year. But he's behind a banged up team.
The Oilers could get Bobrovsky? 1 year, what, $8 million?
Yeah, but he could stay in Florida and take 5 and keep more of it.
Oh, the whole tax thing.
Like, no, Talbot only had a 893. I don't know who would be the. You can text that in if you want.
Is Kemper a free agent? I don't know.
No. There's like it's
throwing
bleak.
names out there now.
It is bleak.
Just randomly throwing out.
They took
Mark
Antoine Pouliot instead of Parise.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
I mean, Parise probably would have been a better pick, but what are you going to do? Haji is saying that the Sharks will be the powerhouse in the West after the McDavid Celebrini trade. How about the Sharks, the powerhouse in the West after they signed Connor in 2 summers?
Yeah, it could happen.
God, this would not work out very well in this market. Adam texts in. He's a little fired up. There we go. Okay. I like it. Please help me understand how this team is supposed to improve this offseason. The Oilers are heading into the summer with a long list of free agents, which technically creates cap flexibility, but bringing most of them back simply recreates the same roster that just lost in the first round. The alternative is dipping in the UFA market, where teams almost always overpay, and Edmonton's track record on July 1st in recent years has been objectively poor. Complicating things further, this year's free agent class is mediocre at best. The team also has too much cap space tied up in backup level goaltending and the Jack Campbell buyout, yet still doesn't have a true starting goalie. There are no meaningful draft picks available to use as assets, and players who would bring back value all have no movement clauses. The only realistic area for improvement might be behind the bench, but this core has already been through multiple coaching changes, and there's a limit to how much impact another switch can realistically have.
Well, I think that's a summary of many of the things we've talked about.
Yeah, I kind of laid it out.
See, Adam, great text. You'd make a horrible talk show host because you have to drag that out for 4.5 months. You'd be a good columnist, though. Hopefully Adam knows I'm joking.
Duncan from Calgary texts in and says, Cassidy always improves his teams in the first few years. You need McDavid to see a path next year. Aging group, not much flexibility. They need a hard-ass coach that'll demand accountability and give a shit. Not much can be done with core and goaltending due to cap and contracts. Cassidy's system protects his goalies. Fire Knobloch, hire Cassidy. Duncan in Calgary. And you know what? I wonder if Knobloch is sacrificed because of some of the things he said where, I mean, how much else can you actually change?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? Like how, like where do the significant changes come from? And if you can't do it with Frederick and you can't do it with Nurse and you can't do it with Jari, well, then by default, it's kind of like the coaching staff. That's it.
Well, I mean, there's so many players that have no moves or longer contracts that aren't tradable or that you can't buy out. That's that. I've thought about that. Like, is that just the easiest change to make? Is to just change the coach? But then why aren't you also changing the general manager, who gave the coach those ingredients? I mean, I don't know. Like, how much? And again, this is one of these questions I don't really know the answer to, but we'll discuss it. How much better does a different coach make this team? Like, is a different coach getting more out of Trent Frederick?
If you look at the individual,
the PK, that's still the biggest reason they lost the series, despite everything else we're talking about. Was the penalty goal. They actually wound up beating them 5-on-5 by I think a couple goals.
Yeah, I mean that penalty kill.
Maybe it ended up tied, but
only the 2 months of discussion like this. Kill a penalty, you guys. Like,
well, what they were doing was like so mind-bogglingly passive. Like,
I know. They just sat back and let themselves get torched.
And let them work the puck around. Like it was frustrating to watch.
So does that come back to the coaching too and be like, how do you not adjust the penalty? Even if you're going to take some chances by being a little bit more aggressive, who cares? It sucks right now anyway.
Well, that's what Anaheim did.
Like,
Anaheim just went at guys. It was like
how much do you think Woody impacted all that?
I think a bit. I don't want to give him too much credit. I don't. That's sorry.
I think he would. I would give him more credit than a guy who didn't have his experience with the team.
I guess, he has to get some. But I mean, how many? A lot of those guys he never coached. You know.
No, you're right. I mean, but he did work with that power play unit, and the power play did get it. What did Connor say? It started slow, kind of got into the series a little bit later on.
I just think maybe Woody knew, like, just make them uncomfortable. Like, you can't give them any time. Like, make them make an elite pass. Like, because it's rare that a team kind of charges at Connor and Leon the way the Ducks did.
Yeah.
Now, maybe this is where I think the health might factor into it. You know,
they're not as mobile.
They're not
so
as mobile. Like
as
Connor's
elusive.
like, great, come get me. I'll beat you both and pass to the open guy. Like maybe that's where some of the health factors into it.
Does Connor saying they were an average team most of the season increase pressure to do a coach or a GM?
I don't know, because I think he's just being honest. I don't think he's saying that with the motive of trying to get someone dismissed.
Well, and it's also not like they weren't, and he's exaggerating how bad they were.
Like we know that
they were average.
Yeah. Like he just kind of said what we'd been talking about. You know, again, there was a little bit of hope after the trade deadline. They had a couple nice wins. You know, not necessarily always against great teams. Because, you know, the two losses that still concerned me down the stretch was the one to Florida and that one to Vegas on a Saturday night. You know,
and that was a big game against Vegas.
Yeah,
and there was a lot on the line in that game against Vegas. This one comes in from Jay, not your Jay, a different Jay. Reid, since you have a little bit more time on your hands this spring, what Def Leppard song best reflects the free time you have?
Well, that's a good question. And thank you for, I always appreciate people who acknowledge that we do have lives outside of the radio station. What Def Leppard song best is going to sum up the free time that I have? I'm partial to this song. They put out a low key. Am I doing it right? They put out a low key, really good album in 2015. Okay. It's called Def Leppard. It's self-titled.
In 2015.
Yeah, I was really happy with it because it's obviously later career.
Yeah.
And they put it out, and it's solid.
Much different?
No, it's classic. Okay. It's almost like a greatest hits album,
but with new stuff.
But not. It's kind of like the first. So the song I would say is called "Let's Go."
Okay.
It's the first track on the album. It's sort of the rousing anthem. Just let's go.
Yeah.
You know, let's have a good time. And the riff is a little bit Sugar-esque, but not. You know what I mean? It's just enough to be like, okay, that sounds just a little bit like parts of it, just like a little bit like Pour Some Sugar. So I would say let's go, because they don't have any songs about reading Jack Reacher books.
All right, there we go.
I will tell you guys this though.
That's the plan, the Jack Reacher books.
I'll read some. Well, you know what I'm reading right now? I actually went and bought. Because I've been telling people I've been reading on the Libby app.
Okay.
I actually went and bought this book at Audrey's.
Okay.
I'd recommend you go, right? Support the local bookstore. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm only about 100 pages in. But I'll try to tear through it.
Does he sound like the bookbinder in your head?
No, he's a young guy, like in his 20s. And aliens like sort of suck all the resources out of the earth.
Yeah.
And then they have a reality show where they put the surviving humans in like a dungeon crawler video game. So he's like living out the video game.
Holy smokes.
I'm just still early on in it, and it's him, and it's his ex-girlfriend's cat named Princess Donut.
Oh my God.
So it's a lot of this kind of, humorous. And I think there's 6 or 7 books in the series.
So you're just getting started.
I think I'm about 100 pages in, because I haven't been. Usually, if I'm reading a book, I try to read at least a little bit every day.
Okay.
But this past week, I've only read a couple of.
Now that the Oilers are out, your literature, you can really get into it.
Well, it will change for us. Like,
oh yeah.
It's now
we could bitch about the team 3 hours every day.
Yeah,
I don't want to. There's a lot of other good sports.
Somebody's reading book 6, so people read it, and like I know when we bring it, like right now, there's like probably about that 3% of the audience that just hate us right now.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? You got to break down Carter Murphy's backhand.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's next week.
Yeah, that's next week. But that's the beauty of this. Like, it's fun having those connections with people. But it does change. Like, and this is not a complaint, but, the one thing you and I know, Dustin, like, we get to talk to young people. What do you have to know about broadcasting? What should I know? And Onright wrote this in his book. You will be working when everybody else is off, and you will be off when everybody else is working. Generally,
it's usually how it works,
but the one thing I say is like you have to accept sometimes unusual hours. So it will kind of be weird for me for quite a while here. Like I'll be the 10 to 6 guy.
Yeah,
punching the clock.
Evenings. Yeah. I'm gonna get one of those Fred Flintstone cards.
I might show up at your house.
All right, thanks for coming by today, man. That's good.
Too long.
That's good. I know Hernan. It's Reid's fault. He was
Yeah.
talking. It's not me. Hernan Salas and parts of Joaquin Gage, or for Gager for part of the show for sure, at least. We'll have some more live guests here as we continue at Hockey Helps the Homeless. Phenomenal event down here. They're going to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we're happy to be a part of it. For Reid Wilkins, I'm Dustin Nielsen. I'll talk to you Monday morning, in which we will dive in to the future of Chris Knobloch. That's going to be happening on the Nielsen Show. Take it easy.